Saving money is always a good thing, especially when it comes to building out your video game collection. Now, Nintendo has blessed us with quite a few really solid sales over the first 2 years of the Switch lifecycle, but right now it seems like most of the major games are back to full price. And this motivated Gabe and I to go on a little bit of a bargain hunt to see the sites and find out if used Switch games really were a better deal.
Zach, you and I don't really ever purchase used Switch games. Back in the day, I used to get used games a lot, before.
Me too.
But, ever since YouTube, we kind of just get digital or we get brand new games. So I thought it was interesting. I wanted to see what the used market was like for Switch, and I definitely found this to be very interesting.
Yeah, I have 0 used Switch games, although I feel like you can't mess up the cartridge that much. I mean, people lick them, I guess, which is a little gross to think about, but my used game days of like Xbox 360, PS2, PS3, like you occasionally would get like a really grungy, gross disc, but cartridges seem to be a little bit easier to take care of.
Yeah, absolutely. And even now, there's just such a huge used game market overall that you should feel comfortable just buying a used game from one of these retailers. Like, they'll be fine. You have some assurance that it's going to work. I don't think that people just go like sell cracked like versions of discs to retailers anymore. But with that said, Zach, let's get into the games here because we have a bunch of them.
Yeah, so we went and used Amazon, eBay, and GameStop to compare the prices, and sometimes new was cheaper than used, which was really interesting. And we decided to omit the Mario titles because those were just heavily discounted, and more often than not, those are sitting at $60. We went through an interesting just assortment of 10 games. One of them, Gabe, isn't even out yet. We just wanted to test the waters with Yoshi's Crafted World, and we found that there is a site giving a deal.
Yes, if you go on Amazon, you can get a decent deal off Yoshi's Crafted World. You can get $8 off if you are a Prime member. You do have to be a Prime member, and don't worry, if you go on Amazon and you see a full price and you are a Prime member, just add it to your cart, and that is where you see your discount. You're not going to see it in the listing itself, but it's an awesome way to save a few bucks on a game that isn't even out yet.
Yes, indeed. The rest are older, they're already out, and they will come in the used and new variety. We'll make sure to call that out. But definitely let us know in the comments down below if you have any used Switch games, what your experience has been, and if not, if this video and these savings have opened your eyes and maybe you're gonna go get in on the used Switch market. Also, smash that like button. It definitely helps us out a lot, and we super appreciate it. Gabe, let's start with ARMS. I think this one's really interesting because ARMS can be had for $39.98 used on Amazon. It's $39.49 used on eBay, so if you want to save, 39 cents, you can go the eBay route. Strangely, it's still $54.99 used on GameStop.
I can't believe that game is still full price at GameStop and other retailers to buy new, but it is. It goes on sale every once in a while, but right now where everything is kind of just back to being regular prices, this is where bargain hunting kind of comes in handy. Yeah, maybe you can wait till like Black Friday, but that's a very long time from now to get it for less. Yeah, right now to Amazon is what I would go with. It's just a few cents, and I just prefer Amazon. But yeah, this one's still a little too expensive for my blood. I already own it, but I'm just saying in case you don't.
Well, I think we learned that GameStop in general, while being the most familiar used game retailer, they're kind of the worst by substantial margins on almost all of these. I don't know that there was a single instance in all of our searching where we found GameStop to be the place to go, and you'll see that evidenced over and over again. Let's move to Smash Bros. Ultimate, my game of the year from last year's Switch cycle. It is $47.68 used on Amazon, $49.85 used on eBay, $54.99 at GameStop.
$47 on Amazon. That's a pretty good deal. If you've somehow not picked up Smash Bros yet, what better chance, right? This is one of the first things I looked at, right? When I was looking at used games on Amazon, because I don't think Amazon and think used games. I just think, hey, you get your games and, Amazon Prime 2-day shipping for free, cool. But as soon as I started going to the used market there, I was like, man, people are selling these things for, sometimes like $15 off. This isn't quite 15. It's still $47.68, but that's way less than 60. You can use that money towards the fighter pass or something like that.
Yeah. Now, I have to ask, do you think that this is enough of a discount to go use? We did include shipping, so all these prices include shipping. This isn't plus shipping. This is like the full thing. If you want to get it, boom, $47.68 is what you pay. is that enough to go used? We're talking like maybe you can't even really tell if it's used as long as you get the case. And it's not beat up and it's not licked.
Some of us don't care, but I don't know where my Smash Bros. Ultimate case is. I don't care about the case at all. I have that game physical. It just always stays in my Switch for the most part. But
I don't want to lick Smash cartridge.
No one's going around licking cartridges, dude.
Ooh, maybe I guess I just have to think like, okay, well, I guess with tax and everything and you know, like, okay, 65 to 47, like that is almost $20 then at that point.
Yeah, no, I think it's worth it. Yeah, I mean,
that's pretty substantial.
Especially if you're like strapped for money, like if you don't like have, and you're like on a really like tight budget, and those like $15 to $20 matter. Yeah, I think it's worth it, man.
Well, or then you put that money, like you said, to the Fighter Pass or some other Switch game. Okay, all right, you're winning me over, Gabe. Splatoon 2, $43.99 Amazon used, $44.98 eBay used, $54.99 GameStop used.
Oh man, this is another one that kind of just stays up there in price. GameStop, you're very bad at selling used games.
Well, I mean, and they are very popular, but they are facing difficult times. We've seen that reported, you know, for a long while now that they're struggling, and it, you know, I don't know what their margins are like. I don't know how they do things, but yeah, keeping almost all of these at $54.99 is just downright silly.
Yeah, I mean, hey, I would 100% pay the $10 less to Amazon and just like, you know, wait a couple of days. That's the one convenient thing about GameStop. There's like stores all over the place and you can just go in and buy it, right? As opposed to waiting a few days for Amazon. But if you waited this long for Splatoon 2, getting it for $44 is a pretty sweet deal. And yeah, you're going to wait a couple days for shipping, but you've waited this long and it's a fantastic game. And, you know, just like with Smash, you can use this towards Octo expansion. So
it's a really good point, and one that would impact me honestly, Gabe, of like, okay, GameStop has the ability to charge a used premium because they're the only place that you can go get it like right now.
Yeah.
And if you're, you know, it's the weekend and oh my gosh, your cousins are in town and you want to play Smash, guess you're gonna have to suck it up and go pay $54.99. Or at that point, why are you, you know, the $5 to me at that point is like, come on. Like if you can save, you know, $15, $20, I think it's worth it, but I cannot ever justify a $54.99 used purchase.
29-year-old us can't justify this. But when I was like 15, 16, me and a couple friends would all pitch in and we'd like still like barely have enough to like at that point, like stuff like that matters. But yeah, we can move on to the next one.
All right, Pokemon Let's Go just had a really sweet deal at Meijer, my favorite Midwest retailer, where so many of you sent in receipts. Thanks for showing us the Meijer love and how many of you took advantage of that half-off deal. But Pokemon Let's Go on Amazon is $45.68 used. There's actually a copy for $40 flat new on eBay, which is really interesting. And then, of course, GameStop, you know, hey, they got that great deal, $54.99.
Yeah. I mean, your mileage may vary always on eBay. I mean, I feel like that goes without saying, but we'll say it. Yeah. Still, hey, really good price for a Pokemon game that came out just, you know, months ago, really, for Let's Go. $45.68 on Amazon. That's not bad. And if you're lucky enough to snag that $40 eBay deal, I know it's not as cool as Meijer, but very few things in the world are, I guess.
Meier's pretty cool, Gabe. You've been to Meijer?
Yeah, I have.
Yeah, you know exactly what we're talking about. I used to bike to Meijer. Back in the safe days of a different world, different decade. You know, you could wait for these games to go on sale, but again, who knows when. And regardless, it's just an interesting exercise to see. Okay, let's go to Octopath Traveler. $43.98 used on Amazon is the cheapest price. There is a $39.99 new copy on eBay, and GameStop getting weird and wild, $54.99.
Man, if you haven't played Octopath and you've kind of been hesitant, or you maybe like forgot about it because there was too many other games and you want to get back to it, $40 is an amazing price for this. I know like $60 was kind of steep for some people, including you, Zach, just because it's more traditional of a game, even though it is like quite sizable. It's a long game. But $40 on eBay, go pick Octopath Traveler up if you haven't already done so. There's a sequel in the works. It's going to be a couple of years, so you have time to finish this.
Yes, indeed. All right, we wanted to throw an indie game on here that has a physical version. That's Dead Cells. Dead Cells is $29.87 on Amazon, used. $32.19 on eBay, new. $32.99 on GameStop, used. So this one, like, everything, like, I guess across the board, used discount just is not as high as I would have expected.
Yeah, I mean, for anyone that doesn't know, it's $35 new at GameStop and everywhere else. So at this point, $2 or $3, yes, now I'm saying just go get it used.
Yeah, I wonder, like, at what point do some of these games drop, or do they not? Because they're Nintendo Evergreen titles that, outside of the very nice but occasional sales, are going to stay at full MSRP. How many years will it take to get something like a Splatoon 2 or a Donkey Kong Country Tropical Freeze down to, like, that $25, $30 used price range? Or do we not foresee that happening at all?
Zach, just the other day, I went on GameStop.com. I was looking for a copy of Super Mario Maker for the Wii U. That thing is still almost like $40. So, yeah.
Maybe not for a long time. Maybe not even within this generation. Let's go to Donkey Kong Country Tropical Freeze, Gabe, which is $45.93 on Amazon used. It's $48.95 on eBay used, and it's $54.99 GameStop used.
Hey, if you thought that $60 for a game that wasn't originally $60 on Wii U, $45.93 on Amazon, pretty sweet deal. It's an amazing game, one of the best platformers on Switch. Dare I say, one of the best platformers ever, Zach.
Dare you? Dare I say that, like, I still in my head kind of can't get over, like, what if the cartridge is dirty?
Zach, anything you buy could be dirty. Let's let people in on a little secret about Zach. Not so much anymore, but Zach likes sneakers. Any number of sneakers that you bought, like on eBay or wherever, somebody
I guess they could have been. Yeah, I guess they could have put their foot in them.
Anything you buy ever could have been manhandled by some human in some fashion.
And this honestly isn't like me being just like, oh, I have to have it new. It's more like a germophobia thing. Like, I used to get board games and trade board games, and I would alcohol swab down the pieces just to make sure that everything was sanitary.
No one is licking Switch games before sending them to you.
Okay, well, I'm still gonna alcohol swab them
those
down.
Things do not taste good.
Dark Souls Remastered game, $31.99 used on Amazon, $40.27 used on eBay, $37.99 used on GameStop. A rare moment where GameStop actually comes in kind of close.
Yeah, I wanted to include some third-party stuff just to kind of see how those games function, and Dark Souls was a pretty good one because it's fairly recent, but not too recent. I wanted to see how that would drop in price, especially because the retail of that is $40 and not $60. But yeah, this is maybe another one that would probably just spring to get it new.
I mean, $31.99 shipped used from Amazon. That's saving you like $10-15, so it's basically the same. It's just
it's $8 because the game's $40.
But then like it goes up like $43 after tax, so it's like yeah. GameStop, $2.01. That's like the discount you can give me here, guys. Like,
GameStop, we're not happy with you. Let's just say that.
I think the moral of the story here is if you are shopping for used Switch games and you don't need it right now, then, like Gabe said, if you've waited this long, what's an extra 2 days or 3 days? Amazon seems to be a pretty good place. eBay has them beat in some instances. Like, for example, having a copy of Pokemon Let's Go for $40 new is really cool, or Octopath for $39.99 new. That is going to be a little bit more difficult, a little bit more hit and miss, just given what's up there, the trends, kind of the ebb and flow of availability or whatnot. But we got one more game, and that's Fire Emblem Warriors. That game is $27.79 used on Amazon, $29.95 new on eBay, $49.99 GameStop used.
What? Why is GameStop still in business? Honestly, I never thought about it until this video. I can see why they are having the issues that they are having.
Yeah, it's interesting, and they're still the place to go to. I mean, we don't really have the options anymore of Hollywood Video used.
Oh man, I remember
Game Crazy, Gabe.
Oh man, dude, you're bringing back so many memories.
Going in those stores and looking at the glass cases, all the little DS games sitting there all nicely lined up next to each other.
Did your Game Crazy have like chain link fence all around it?
Yeah,
that was
absolutely.
That was just kind of their aesthetic.
Yeah, very nice aesthetic. Very sad that they don't exist. I think there's only like one Blockbuster left in the entire world, so we won't be shopping there either. Maybe it's a topic for a future video, but I'd love to know also like the rental market. Like, how many people are renting Switch games from like Redbox or GameFly?
Yeah,
that's really interesting.
Not a lot, I'll guess.
So there is our trip down the little mystery hole known as used Switch games. It's interesting, and you may only save a couple bucks here, you may save $15 there, but if you are absolutely looking for the lowest price, if you're bargain hunting, it does seem to save you a few dollars and a few cents, and in some cases, it's way better to look online at Amazon or eBay than it is to walk into GameStop. But let us know how you purchase your Switch games. And if you've ever experienced or dived into this world of used cartridges, and if you do, is it GameStop, is it online, is it eBay, is it trading with friends? We'd love to hear your experience in the comments down below. Make sure to hit that like button if you enjoyed the video, guys and girls. Thank you so much for watching. Gabe, you're gonna be the first one to get a used Switch game?
Here, I'm gonna tell you this. The way I look at it is, this is just something fairly recent to where I get my haircut. Every 4 or 5 haircuts, they give you a free haircut. They have one of those punch hole cards. With this, every 4 or 5 Switch games you buy, you've saved enough to just buy another one. So that's how I'm looking at it.
That is a very good point.
Yeah.
Get 4 or 5 Switch games used. You saved enough to get a 5th. Wow.
Yeah.
We need to make some Switch Force punch cards. That's what I'm after. All right, while we go work on our punch cards, everybody have a fantastic day. Thanks so much for watching. For myself and Gabe, Switch Force